Good morning, Blue Jays. Now that we are in 2026, Jesuit begins a year celebrating its campus centennial. 100 years ago, this September, our school moved from its downtown location to the new buildings on Carrollton Avenue. According to the catalog for that year, during the session of 1924 to 1925, it became evident from the school's greatly increased popularity that classes could no longer be conducted properly on the Barone Street property, and a very much larger high school would have to be built. The new residential location was also described as ideal, as students could reach it from any part of the city, since the St. Charles, Tulane, Esplanade, and Canal Belt cars ran within a very short walk of the school, while the Carrollton Avenue buses stopped at the front door of the main building. In 1926, tuition was $80 per session, and the student body totaled 436 students. It has nearly tripled since. Times were perhaps different then, but in many ways, it was the same Jesuit. The school's president, Father Michael Walsh, addressed students to open the second year here, stating that the purpose of the school is, quote, the training of the soul's faculties by hard work and study, and for students to live the life that would make them pleasing in the sight of God. The Blue Jay newspaper reports of the opening speech. Father President pointed out some of the many dangers which beset young men of our day, dwelling a while on the subject of reading, and advising every boy to be very careful in selecting reading matters so as to avoid the effects of indifferent and unclean literature. The very next article in the newspaper celebrated the school's primary co-curricular, the Philolactic Society, stating that, quote, every first-rate modern high school has its academy for literary, debating, and dramatic activities to furnish the more ambitious students with opportunities for these special phases of self-development. Back then, gold medals were awarded for oratory, elocution, and public debate. All of these artifacts of the late 1920s show an academic priority around forming and imitating great arguments and persuading others by means of forceful and graceful rhetoric. This goal of Jesuit education, Eloquentia Perfecta, or perfect eloquence, continues today with our substantial program for crafting essays, our extensive study of classical and modern languages, our commitment to public speaking and philolactic co-curriculars, and many other places across the curriculum that help you develop good arguments. Simply put, Jesuit forms you to think well and to find your voice to lead others to the good. In any industry you enter, there will be plenty of others who will have comparable technical knowledge. What will differentiate you is your ability to cut through the noise, to figure out which direction to go next, to have the confidence to chart out that course, then to compel other people to do good things. In preparing for your life's work, Eloquentia Perfecta is the antidote to the mindlessness of our environment, where social media algorithms curate our news feeds and blur the line between true human connection and advertising. We are fed endless content that either drives us to keep buying or to feel political outrage or to dwell in the empty calorie malaise of the latest TikTok trend. Tempted as we are to produce content that skirts the line of decency or another person's dignity, craving the hollow validation of clicks and likes and shares. Your Jesuit education, grounded in Eloquentia Perfecta, makes you truly human, fully alive in God, to make firm judgments, to form good arguments, and to develop your own personal style in expression, and in engaging those around you. Don't let the AI bots steal your voice and simulate your insights. Don't let social media and gaming dull your imagination in a constant stream of virtual stimulation. 100 years later, we can hear echoes of Father Walsh's warning about indifferent and unclean literature. The various media competing for your attention today are more aggressive. But from what I can see, your resolve to glorify God by your hard work and your study is also stronger than ever. May our efforts in 2026 form the foundation of the next 100 years at Carrollton Avenue, becoming who God made us to be, happy in His love and pleasing in His sight. This concludes this morning's assembly.